pastor named J.D. Greear had a powerful message for members of his North Carolina-based Summit Church recently. He told everyone, stop treating church like it's a religious show and a big production by walking in late or leaving early or streaming it online when you don't have to. Here's the clip, and I want you to pay special attention to what happens when the camera zooms out after he says this.
Honestly, it's one of the things that irritates me about you guys that cruise in 10 minutes late or leave 5 minutes before we dismiss. It's not that I'm mad that you're missing part of the service, it's that you treat church like it's a religious show instead of a welcoming family that you're a part of. When people say that the church is unfriendly and it feels like a big production, you're the problem. And don't even get me started on you guys that are still sitting at home in your pajamas streaming online when health-wise you can and should be back in church, okay? If you got health issues, I get it, that's fine. If you're traveling, I understand. But some of you are still sitting at home right now on your couch because you've reduced church to a program you watch, and that is not church at all.
That might have been a really powerful message if his church wasn't literally designed to deliver a massive production every single week. Because that's what megachurches are. They are theater camps for kids who couldn't cut it as real actors. It's Broadway for those who don't like openly gay people. It's a stage for people like Kirk Cameron. And it's not even just me saying this. If you go to Summit Church's website, and remember that they have multiple buildings under their umbrella, a quick glance at the church's staff lists an astonishing 22 people who work specifically in the production department. That's their word, not mine. There are also videos online about how the church has an estimated $500,000 worth of equipment to put on their live shows. Like, electronics companies point to Summit Church as an example of why you should hire them to stage your productions.
The cool thing with DMB Soundscape is just object placement, being able to put, your drum set on the right side of the stage and you're visually seeing what you're hearing. That's a really cool tool.
So yeah, megachurches like Greer's are meant to be a religious show. That's why impeccable audio of the sermons are always available soon after the service, and why the videos always look professional, and why every sermon is the same basic length, and why there are multiple jumbotrons behind the pulpit, and why you can see a goddamn drum set right there on stage. The disconnect between the pastor's words and their context went viral recently after Greear, or wait for it, his production team, posted that clip online. Everyone's reaction was like, why is this guy, who is the former head of the Southern Baptist Convention, yelling at his congregation about treating church like a show while speaking from a pulpit that resembles the stage at a rock concert? His tweet was later deleted, probably by someone on the production team, but not before others shared the clip. It's not just the hypocrisy of a performer condemning the crowd for treating church like a performance. It's the audacity of a preacher demanding that his clients consume the product only in the way he feels is appropriate. I mean, say what you will about Taylor Swift, but she will never tell you how or when to enjoy her music. You do you. If Greear really cared about church members working on his schedule, then latecomers wouldn't be able to get in at all, and live streaming would only be available for those who request it for personal reasons. But of course, that's not gonna happen, because the goal of these megachurches is to broadcast the service to as many people as possible. As one commenter pointed out, don't want church treated like a production? Don't create a production. Hell, given how rapidly Americans are abandoning organized religion, Greear should consider himself lucky that anyone is watching him at all. I'm sure a lot of pastors would love to have the problem of people consuming their content in different ways at different times instead of the one they prefer. It should also go without saying that if Greear wanted people to show up on time and stay for the duration, then his church would provide services that gave people a better reason to want to be there the entire time. If you want people to watch you live, then the live show needs to be better than the video afterwards. And if you're wasting everyone's time with fluff, and churches have a lot of fluff, there's no reason to show up early or stick around afterwards. After the clip went viral, Greear attempted to downplay the criticism by saying this was a bit of family talk and is unhelpful out of context. It is not a bit of family talk when you're live streaming it to an audience of thousands. And I watched the context in the full sermon. None of it changed the meaning of what he said. What guys like him refuse to admit is that they need church to be a production, because the message alone just isn't very compelling. Few people have any interest in listening to preachers rant about sin every week. More of them might tune in if there's music and lighting and you can watch it at 1.5 speed. You know you're doing that to me right now. And more people might visit in person if there was coffee and your close friends and other ways to distract from the drivel. Then there's the matter of substance. I mean, what's more important? Someone who shows up to church late, but really wanted to hear the sermon, and that's why they made it there? Or someone who arrives early, but mentally checks out when the sermon begins because he's just there out of obligation? I mean, if people are fighting traffic and quickly downing breakfast at home so they can voluntarily show up to church, but they happen to get there a bit late, Greear should be giving them a medal, not a lecture. If he doesn't like people showing up late, just wait till they stop showing up at all. It's a lot easier, trust me. And it's way more fun than attending a church where a pastor yells at you for not being devout enough before asking you to give him money to buy more lighting equipment.